off to check it out. See it all for tomorrow, where we're gonna do the real thing.
Got a nice little cross shore, on shore, and very little space to land your kite. We're right up against this, so you really need a buddy or a person to help you get up. This guy's taking off.
We're loving the Cayman Islands. Beautiful, rustic, yet modern. It's got it all.
Session, and we are nice and tired. It's time to go get some chicken from the local place.
Yeah, but we shredded it.
We'll drink some beer and watch the sunset from our rooftop patio thingy later. Made it to Barker's Point, and the sun is starting to come out. It's a glorious day. Just enjoying it. Only person out. Beautiful morning, Grand Cayman. Martina's out here cruising along, only kiter out, great conditions, riding a 10.5 meter liquid force NV kite, and it is just nice. It's about 21 knots, great, beautiful day, pretty mellow, and yeah, we're loving it.
To rescue my board. Luckily, success. And now Captain Kirk is off to the races. And that's why you come to Grand Cayman.
Alright, well, we just got done with another session of Barker's Beach here. And a couple quick things that we've learned that would have been nice to know before we went. The takeoff zone is really small, and so we're talking this little bit of beach here to this little beach here. And the other day there were maybe 8 kites here, which pretty much fills it. So, and then also right out here, sharp coral, the whole area, there's lots of little bits of coral and things, so you want to wear booties. Well, we were wearing shoes because we didn't have booties, and the little 5-finger toe vibra things, they work great, although some of those other things might be better, like booties. Booties and soles, yeah, nice rubber sole. And then also the wind is usually pretty good on shore. The instructors at the kite school right down west of us going out. And there's also stingrays and turtles out there. If you're lucky, you'll see them. Look down below. So, yeah.
Overall, great spot. Highly recommend it. And it's great because there's nothing out here. It's a protected area, so there's no infrastructure. So it's really natural and raw and nice.
crash. So whenever you come, always try and make it a little bit better and keep this place beautiful. Last day at Barker's, and again, only one out, just loving it. Outside of Barker's Beach for kiteboarding, we also checked out a few other spots. We went to South Sound where the wind was blowing fully onshore, and it said it was 26 knots, but it seemed to be pushing 30, and there's a very small launch area, not to mention palm trees and power lines very closely there. So that onshore wind and that mix of things you can cross your lines on or hit just make it a little bit sketchy. With a more cross-shore wind, it would probably be really fun. And we also checked out the east end of the island, where I've seen some great videos of people on YouTube. And while there was no wind when we were there, we still checked it out, and it looked like it would be fun. A lot of bigger beaches and more launch zones, so that could make it nice. Assuming you're probably going to have a similar coral situation that you have at Barker's, where there is a bit to deal with on the ground, so you want to make sure you've got your impact vest, rash guard, and good shoes, or some sort of incredible sock or booties with a rubber sole.
Something thick.
Because you do not want to have an issue. We saw a guy get torn up, and his side was bleeding, hands were bleeding, and his kite was stuck in the mangrove trees. So
yeah, you don't want that to be you.
No.
Also, Barker's was great. We love staying close to it. Something that surprised me is that it's in a natural preserve area, so there's no infrastructure, which was really cool. So no cement, no bathrooms, no showers. So it just made it that much more unique, special, magical, just, you know, being out in nature. And Barker's Beach was a very small takeoff landing zone. Lots of trees, lots of coral. We came to Grand Cayman being like, wow, we're gonna, you know, kite with all these cool people. But other than the weekend, we were it. We had the beach to ourselves. So
we were the only ones out there.
I don't know if it's just under the radar still, or it's more the locals on the weekends, but we had the whole beach to ourselves. No one kiting, perfect water, so definitely a must.
Yeah, and the water's pretty flat too, which really is nice from the atolls in the general area, blocking some of that waves. There were waves further out, but you would have to kite a decent distance to get to them, and since we're typically the only kite out there, it gets a little dangerous. And if you have any kind of issues, especially wearing shoes and the board, the straps, you don't have the same feel as your feet, so losing your board becomes a real issue if it flips over and you can't get upwind to it and you're that far out.
There's also a kiteboarding school that goes to Barker's Beach, but they're not there in the morning or sometimes or all day long, so we really enjoyed having our own gear and having that independence, checking the wind on Wind Guru, seeing the best time, going for sunset sessions or sunrise sessions, just kind of following the wind, chasing the wind. You gotta do what you gotta do. But another day, another adventure, and we're off to Turks and Caicos, and we'll report back from there.
We'll see you later, adventurers.
Hasta luego, bye.